It is finally football time in Oklahoma. I know where I'm going to be Saturday. I'm going to be sitting down at probably like 3:15 in the stadium ready for everything to get going. Tyler, we can finally, outside of maybe one or two games, we don't have to talk about the 2024 season anymore. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to entertain any thoughts about that anymore. That is out of sight. It is out of mind. It is now all focus on 2025 with Team 131, the kind of prove it team, if you will, for Brent Venables. I mean, it's hard to think 4 years ago, we saw him getting on the plane, coming into Norman, being greeted by all the fans. I was thinking about that the other day, that just how much has happened since that moment. So much that
Yeah.
we've gone through. We went from the team without a defense to now last year the team without an offense to this iteration of Oklahoma that everyone's excited. I mean, even we're excited. I'm trying to be critical, and the worst I can think of is 8-4. This feels like the year. I'm not going to say OU's going to go undefeated or something like that. With their schedule, with our schedule, that's ridiculous. But 5 o'clock on Saturday, Illinois State comes to town. OU's a 35.5-point favorite. I think we'll kind of open it up. This is the first of our OU specific videos we'll do. For both OU fans, I figure, we might as well just talk about the team we actually enjoy. I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of things. Number one, Freddy's is in the stadium now, Tyler. I can enjoy Freddy's whenever I feel like it. Cheese curds and a burger is going to hit at halftime. It's going to feel pretty good. I'm excited to see, of course, what John Mateer looks like. I'm excited to see Jay Knott. I wouldn't have made a whole video about how much I'm hyped for Jay Knott for me to not mention that. I'm excited to see what that running back room looks like in general. Kanak at tight end. Let's see where this goes. Can Joe John Finley irritate me even more? Maybe, I don't know. But we're putting Kanak at tight end. We'll see how that experiment goes. I'm always an offense guy first, so I'll kind of get the offense side. Tyler, if you want to get the defense, or if we want to mishmash it, I don't know. This is kind of more off-the-cuff type of video as we're doing this. We might format this out better as we go along, but I'm just excited for football to be back, I guess, more than anything else, man.
Oh, yeah. It's great. I think the Prove It team is probably the right label for this team, because it seems like if this saying is going to work under Brent Venables, this has got to be the team that's going to do it. You got the hotshot young offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle. You got the sleeper Heisman Trophy winner potential at quarterback with John Mateer. You
didn't call him John Moneyline Mateer. I was so ready for you to come in with Moneyline Mateer.
Oh, he's got to come out and ball first. Then I'll refer to him as Moneyline Mateer. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Good.
He's already inspiring my Venmo transaction labels, as I was telling you before we went on to my buddies. I'm taking the spirit of Mateer and labeling my Venmos appropriately. But anyways, you've got that guy. You've got a running back room that I think could be very, very stacked, depending on how things play out. And you've got a rejuvenated receiving core that I think has some intriguing pieces in it. And I'm excited for Jaren Kanak at tight end one. Let's go. I mean, it's a guy that's been busting his butt and trying to find his place in the world. He seems like a fun guy. Let's give him a shot.
Yeah.
And trust Joe John for a minute, Cade.
No.
Let him cook a little bit.
It's not happening.
You remember there was a stretch there for a second where it maybe was a drive. But Joe John Finley cooked a little bit last year. Maybe one drive, but he cooked a little bit. Okay?
You're killing me. We're going right back to the Alabama game conversation where you're like, well, you got to give it to them. They beat Alabama. I will not stop on my crusade until Joe John Finley either learns how to be a tight ends coach or gets fired. Maybe I'll change my mind at the end of the season, but odds are probably not. But, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. The O-line, I think, has been one of the big questions, of course, for OU.
Sure.
What's it going to look like? And we'll see how it gels. The only nice takeaway I guess you could have from a year like last season, with everyone being injured, is that everyone's got experience now. Everyone's got that little bit of, okay, we know what to do. Trust Bill Bedenbaugh. Trust in Bedenbaugh, whatever you want to call him. I've heard both pronunciations in the last few weeks, which has really kind of been weird for me because I've always heard it as Beaton Bow, but Beaton Baugh has come out of nowhere, and I don't know how to feel about that. That might be right for all I know. We've all said it wrong, but that's neither here nor there. I will get off on tangents whenever I feel like it. That's just how this works sometimes. Y'all got to deal with me. I want to see what this offense looks like because I agree with you. Mateer's going to be fantastic, I think. I love this running back room. I really do. If Javonte Barnes, if he's fully ready to go, heard a lot of good things about Blaylock. That's why he's RB2 this week. Of course, Ott still dealing with that injury. I know a lot of people were freaking out about why is he only third on the depth chart. Having him, though, with the special teams will be nice. I think that's a nice boost Oklahoma needs. I think that having Xavier Robinson right now listed as a 4, and obviously that'll change probably throughout the year. But even the idea of having someone as talented as him as your RB4, that's a scary thought, Tyler. That is a scary, scary thought that you've just got a bulldozer sitting there at the 4 spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's intriguing pieces, and even on the O line, we're starting to see, Eddie Pierre-Louis, like that's a guy EPL that it might flash and really, live up to what we think he could be as a young guy. That'd be exciting, and to see like Michael Fasusi just pushing for reps as a true freshman, we hope that means good things, right? That he is what they think he could be in terms of a talent. So there's some things to look forward to online. Defensively, Cade, my God, looking at this depth chart defensively, this front 7, especially on that D line, I mean, it is scary the depth they've got on that D line. I think it is and will prove to be the best defensive line in the country. I think you're looking at what South Carolina had last year with the depth and the talent. I think it's there for OU, but maybe even better. I think at linebacker, yeah, you don't have a Danny Stutzman, but I think overall they're deeper than what they were last year. And in the secondary, even though you're dealing with some injuries, and not only in secondary but in that linebacking core with Dobie and Bowen, like you still got guys I think you could trust very easily there. And again, that competitive depth is something that feels like OU has lacked for the better part of the last few years, right? Since Riley left and the team kind of got gutted, and I think it's finally returned.
Tyler, I mean, 5 years ago, we were hyped just to have Perion Winfrey or just to have Ronnie Perkins. We just wanted one good defensive guy. That's all we asked for. And now we have an entire stack of them. I mean, it's just what Brent has been able to do on that defensive side, what the entire staff has been. I mean, it's not just Brent there. Everyone on the defensive side of the ball deserves their props. I can name all of them, but we'll be here for a while. It baffles me because obviously I'm a youngin'. I grew up in the let's score 50 because we have to era. So I will always be kind of naturally gravitating to offense first. But you hit it. I think this D line, if it lives up to potential, which I think it's going to, even last year we saw not really even flashes of it. We saw them try to stay in games because of that defense. They had to. This team could be special. They really could. The pieces are there for them to be special. I just want to see it with my own eyes before I start to declare it, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess the big thing this week, the big takeaway that I'm going to push out there is look, you might look like world beaters this week. You're not going to be able to tell what you are, right? And I will warn, too, that, what do we say, 35, 36 point spread?
Yeah. Illinois State's not a pushover. They are a top 10 FCS team.
Right. That's what I was going to get to, that, hey, look, if we don't cover that, don't freak out because it is a top 10 FCS team that, mind you, is on the upswing. This is a team that's starting to have some of the best seasons they've had in school history. So they're going to come in saying, hey, you know what? The OU team wasn't as good as they thought they were last year. Why can't we come in here and give them a little trouble, right? They think they're hot stuff. They've got, this big time quarterback. Let's see what we could do against them. I think if you could cover that spread, that's a good sign, but don't think that means we're going 12-0 or anything crazy. I just want to see this offense flow. That's what I want to see in this game. I want to be able to be consistent and steady. And if they could do that, I'm excited.
Tyler, I think the first time we get 3 or 4 first downs in a row, there might be a standing ovation in the stadium. It might happen. I mean, last year was so depressing that I think just seeing it, no matter it being FCS or not, we said it, Illinois State's a good team. Just seeing the offense be able to move is going to be earth shattering for a few people. It might be people in my row included. I mean, I know a few guys that'll be drinking the Kool-Aid or probably already have. And I'm trying to think the best way to put this. I'm just excited to see what feels like the most complete OU team, maybe the most competent, well put together in theory. We haven't seen it play yet, but in theory, this should be the most well-rounded OU team that we've seen in quite a while. If the offense is there like we all believe it is, we know what the defense is capable of. All this offense has to do is not suck. That's all they've done. I'm not asking for Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray 2018 offense where you just know they're going to score every time they touch the ball just about. I'm just asking for, can we get a top 25, top 30 caliber offense? That OU team goes 9-3, I feel like. They have to.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because you feel like you've got a chance for a top 10 defense, right? That's kind of the billing here. If you can match that to your point with a not even top end offense, but a good one, there could be things that happen for this OU team that we haven't seen in a while. And I'm excited, but I'm also a little anxious, right? I think there's a good chunk of the fan base that says we want to believe, but with what we've seen, we got to be cautious because you don't want to get hurt.
We don't want to we don't want to
that
do this 3 times in 4 years where we're looking at going, wow, what are we doing here? What is this?
yeah. And are we truly becoming Nebraska? You don't want that.
Also,
you don't want that.
I want to leave a kind of on one final thought, because Arbuckle said this in one of his press conferences in the last few days, and it made me smile. It really did. It was something that brought a lot of joy to me. I think will bring a lot of joy to people I know. That Arbuckle said, if running back or someone's hot, I'm keeping them in the game. We're not going to rotate just to rotate. Tyler, I about had tears of joy when I saw that, when I heard that. If we don't get the stupid running back rotation because DeMarco feels like it, and DeMarco probably knows what he's doing. I mean, he is one of the best running backs that I could think of. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely.
But
there's talent in that room.
There is a lot of talent in that room. But it's just like the idea that we might see a running back get back-to-back possessions because they're doing really well. It brings me joy, Tyler. It brings me a lot of joy. I just want to see Jay Knott go off on one punt return. I just want to see it happen. That's all I ask for week 1. I want to see one cool punt return from Jay Knott. Doesn't have to be a touchdown. Doesn't have to be super insane. I just want to see one return. So I go, that's my guy. Every year, I guess it's a bit of tradition between my dad and I for forever. We always pick one guy that's going to be our guy for the entire season. Our only rule usually is you can't pick the quarterback because that's too obvious. So I've almost always gone with a running back, and he almost always has gone with like a wide receiver or tight end. So Jay Knott has already been designated as my guy for the year.
So that means I'm taking Jerry Koenig.
Yeah, okay, probably. Cool. That's probably
Wiener
how this
Dogs
is going to work.
United, baby.
There you go. I'll have to see who my dad goes. I'll have to have that conversation with him at some point. But he's just he's excited. I've been hearing it from him. Just, hey, football season's here. He's excited, and that's a guy that's been doing this forever. Season ticket holder since the 90s. I mean, it's the happiest I've heard him in a while. Just, hey, football season's here. And I think that's the common sentiment across the state, whether it be OU, whether it be OSU. I was even getting my emails from Tulsa today. They were excited to death that football season's here. It's finally football time in Oklahoma. It's going to be a great Saturday. Weather's going to be beautiful. For an August 30th, 78 degrees is nowhere near bad. I think everyone knows that. I think everyone knows that this should be a nice, peaceful, let's have a fun Saturday and be really glad that OU's back in action.
Absolutely, man. Can't complain about that type of temperature when we know it could very well be 102 at this time of year.
I'm glad we don't have the heat stroke game to start the season. And Michigan weather for that game's looking really nice as well. So we'll leave it with that. Everything seems to be going well. Everything might actually be under control for once. Check back with us in a few weeks and we might have a different story. But for now, The optimism is here. I think there's a lot deservedly so. Of course, this game's on ESPN Plus. You still have time to get that. Don't be that guy that waits until 4:58 and forgets that he has ESPN Plus or is trying to order it. Don't be that guy. No one wants to be that guy, so don't do it. Get it now if you want to watch the game. Or listen to Toby. Listen to Toby. Listen to Gabe. Listen to Teddy. All of them. They always do a great job. Chris Plank as well. Always a fun crew to listen to call the game. But folks, you know, if you enjoy these type of OU specific videos, I know we do them every once in a while. Some people like them. If you liked it, there's a like button there for that. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what you expect. Game 1, OU taking on Illinois State. Subscribe to the channel as well. At 158, inching closer and closer on that count to 200. We always appreciate it. If you're listening over on Spotify, feel free to take us on the go wherever on that Spotify as well. Leave a 5-star review. We do appreciate that. But folks, as always, until next time, have a good one and Boomer Sooner, everybody.